for their social network, which took a little time, plus getting all the updates in there. But this was actually the LA Noire complete pack, so it should include all the downloadable content, and I should have extra cases or DLC stuff in there to play around with.
A city on the verge of greatness. A new type of city based not
Haven't
on
had
land, but on the automobile.
an enormous amount of time to play around with this yet, but I have to say I am very intrigued and I'm looking forward to spending a lot more time with this game.
Where every man can own his
like
own
I said,
home, and have room to breathe, not be overlooked.
I like all of the games from Rockstar that I played. Primarily that would include
the city where
Grand Theft Auto.
A quarter acre of the dream made possible.
Really loved the Warriors on the PS3, which is sort of an homage to an old
the city of opportunists.
either late 70s or early 80s movie. Kind of campy gang violence in New York video game. But the video game actually expands on the movie and makes it a lot more interesting. Unfortunately, it's not available for PC, so I couldn't pick that up and play it some more. But so far, the impressions are of the LA Noire. It's true Rockstar fashion. The
city of dreamers.
Character modeling is pretty amazing. When you see people talk and stuff, their mouths really move, and it looks like they're saying what they're supposed to be saying. Very impressive there. Don't see a lot of cloning. Everybody has their own individual look,
A 20th century
so that's pretty impressive. This game does not appear to be a big-time shooter, which the friends of mine that bought the game and played it and said it wasn't good probably didn't like the lack of ultra violence, although so far there is a bit. It's not the all-encompassing part. This is more of an investigative and story game.
You deal with the chain of command. Mistakes get made, but you deal with them.
So we're going to jump into the gameplay proper.
But dealing with corruption is like chasing shadows.
In opposition to Grand Theft Auto, you're playing as a police officer in this game, so you're not all about pimps and hoes. You're about solving crimes and serving justice. And if you didn't notice, the game was set in the 40s, so it's a little bit antiquated, but you gotta love the big metal cars.
Roger, 14 Adam en route.
Okay, so now I'm playing proper, and we've got to we've got to go to a crime scene and help them find evidence to solve the crime. And I finally figure out how to kick my siren into action. Pretty quick trip, and we're at the alleyway crime scene.
Floyd Rose, homicide. You might back up?
Yes, sir. Phelps and Dunn, Wilshire Division.
We had a shooting took place down this alleyway. We have the Vic, Scooter Payton, a Negro male bagged up and on his way to Central.
And like I said, you can tell by
Says a tall white guy, our shooter, put two in the Vic's head and then threw his piece.
The character modeling when they're talking is very impressive, even by today's standards.
The dead guy's a lowlife. I'm not expecting any miracles.
When he's talking, it looks like he's actually saying what he's saying. So that's a pretty cool thing.
Happy hunting.
See, these detectives aren't too into solving this crime, so
This is a fist hump. Just going through the motions. You're probably right. Let's just get it over and done.
maybe these patrol officers are going to have to figure it out.
We'll search right up to the back wall.
You have to excuse my lack of skill, which will become more and more apparent as we go on, but I'm just playing with controls as it's telling me what they are, because this is my first foray into LA Noire.
Look at this junk.
So I'm learning the controls and at times not learning the controls, which
Not my job to pick through
become
other people's
apparent later
trash.
on. But just have to find out what the newspaper says. We can move on with their
What have
lives.
you got, Phelps? Anything?
Okay, so I can inspect things as I find them. Some are interesting, some are not. But newspapers are always interesting. Reading is fun, kids. So you can see the shrink says the mind is the final frontier. I'm thinking this is sort of a 1940s dig on Scientology, but we'll find out as time goes on.
Dr. Fontaine.
We can see who Dr. Fontaine is and what he's about. I'm sure he's going to show up at some point in the game in the future, but
I'm always happy to receive acknowledgement for my work.
as of right now,
The mind is the
not so
last
much.
great mystery in medicine. Are you thinking of specializing, Mr.
Sheldon. Courtney Sheldon. I'm only in second year, doctor. They fast-tracked me a year because of my experience during the war.
Ah,
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. Battle fatigue and collapse under duress. Can it be helped?
I would say yes, given the right set of circumstances. Trauma forces the mind to close down, retreat in on itself. We try to find ways to unlock the mind again through a combination of therapy and drug treatment. Hypnosis and therapy are powerful tools in the right hands, Sheldon.
I've been to visit some of the guys at the VA hospital. A good friend of mine, he's so far away. It's like he's wandering
You
around.
went through a lot together.
Yes, doctor.
Give me his details and I'll make a prognosis. I have a number of clinics in Los Angeles, Courtney Sheldon, and your penance, for your friend's help, is to come and work at one of them in your spare time, with what little spare time a medical student has. Is that a deal?
Is it ever? I can't thank you enough.
I'm not promising a cure, Courtney. I want you to remember that. Every physician has patients that he cannot hope to cure, for whom he can only smooth the path to death.
So I'm not sure what that's about, but I'm pretty sure we'll find out at a later date. Just pick up the beer bottle.
Doesn't appear to be connected.
No, don't think it has much to do with the case at hand, because we're looking at a homicide. So, but newspaper stuff was interesting. Don't know where it's gonna go, but we'll find out as we play along. I'm no detective, but I'm thinking that's where the murder happened. If we take a closer look.
Shooter put him up against the wall and blew his brains out.
Hell of a way to go.
Doesn't really matter how you go once you're gone.
Could have been
Don't
worse.
get all
It could have
deep on me,
lit him
fellas.
on fire or something. That would have been pretty horrible.
I tell you, I'm jinxed. I always get landed with this crap.
And now it says push arrow, arrow, and here I am looking all over the place. Turns out that was the tab key.
We're never gonna find it. It's a waste of time.
Couldn't have just said it was the tab key. Would have made life so much easier, but I figured it out in the end. So now he's got to find the gun, and I'm not seeing it. Of course, the game tells me to climb the drain pipe, so of course I'm going to climb the drain pipe, because why would it tell me if I didn't have to? And what's on the roof? Again, I'm no detective, but my meager patrolman brain thinks that's a gun. I just have to figure out how to pick it up and examine it. Which I do, and then he puts his fingerprints all over it, but I'm guessing since it's the 1940s, fingerprints aren't a huge issue.
Smith & Wesson, serial S71893. 2 rounds fired, and instead of dropping it down a drain, our shooter hoists it up here. Interesting guy.
Not sure if he's an interesting guy or just a psychotic guy, but we'll find out as we go.
We should follow up on this now, before the perp tries to leave town.
Just kind of a quick scan around to see if there's other newspapers or interesting facts, and then, like I said, I did finally figure out how to check my notebook. So it lets you evaluate evidence you've acquired so far. People, clues, and locations, all of which will come into play as we go, I imagine. Especially the
We have the
locations.
gun, Cole. Let's take it back to Central. We could get a commendation.
You show some initiative, Ralph, and see if we can come up with an owner.
That's a long shot, Cole.
It's a pretty fancy gun. You know a local gun store?
Sure. There's a place a couple of blocks from here.
Maybe we should check that out, genius. So if you go to locations and look at the gun store, set as destination, we can go
Are you
check
sure
it
about
out.
this? It's not really our gig.
No harm in doing some digging. The suits didn't seem to give much of a damn.
Plus, if
Such
you want
a
to get a
Boy Scout
promotion,
goal.
you got to do more than the
You can't wait to
absolute
get out of
minimum.
that uniform, can you?
You'd rather round up drunks and help old ladies across the road?
I'd rather get through the day without the captain's foot up my ass.
It'll be fine, Ralph. You worry too much.
Ralph's not actually motivated to get promoted, but I'm all for that, so let's get in the car and check out the gun store. Come on. So now I'm just trying to figure out how to find my way to the gun store. Checking out the map. You can see the cross streets and such, but it does give you tips because you can
Take the next
press
right
F and ask your partner how to get there. And one thing I have noticed while playing is when new sets are loading, sometimes you get that kind of fuzzy, hashy stuff in the distance as it's redrawing the terrain. Not terrible, but
You need to take the next left.
not wonderful either. So now I'm driving and asking my partner for directions. And Eventually we're going to find our way to the gun store, continue our investigation, find out who owns the gun that was used in the murder.
Stop just ahead.
Of course, the gun store is right next
Almost
to a
there
liquor
now.
store. Always a great idea. And now we're at the gun store, 10:34 p.m. Gonna interview the owner, find out what's going on.
Officers Phelps and Dunn. Can you tell us anything about this gun?
Smith & Wesson, Model 27, registered Magnum. Chambered for .357, nickel-plated with pearl grips. Same gun used by General Patton.
You're not suggesting he's the owner.
No, I'm not.
You seem to know a lot about the weapon.
I ought to. I sold it. You know, this piece will stop a rhino. These babies are only available special order. Here's my Smith & Wesson order book.
You mind if I take a look?
Be my guest. This is about something bad, right?
So we get to play around with the new interface.
Model 27 with pearl grips, Cole. You see it on there?
27, that's a walnut grip. So that's not it. Let's see. 27. Pearl grip. That's it right there.
We're in luck. Errol Schroeder, 203 South Glass Street. Ordered the gun in February '46. Thanks, you've been a big help.
Anytime. Always happy to help out the LAPD.
And again, the character models are pretty
Call
impressive.
it in?
Let's see if he's at home. Owning the gun doesn't prove he pulled the trigger.
Okay. In for a penny, in for a pound. Lead the way, Gunga Din.
Alright, so we just have to check our notebook and set a new destination. Quick pause while I check the map, find out where I'm going. And excuse me, and plan my route. So we're going to be on the way. I just got to go up to First Street and take a right. And if I get lost, you can always ask your partner. So, wasn't really big on kicking the siren on, but I figured I'd just run red lights because I am the po-po, so who's going to pull me over?
Now that wasn't so hard, was it? Just because we're in uniform doesn't mean we can't use our initiative.
I guess so. Seems a little too good to be true. One-of-a-kind murder weapon bought locally using a real name. If Schroeder's...
I'm just going to turn the in-game music down a little bit so we can hear the conversation, because it's always at 100%, and sometimes the music overwhelms.
He's no criminal mastermind.
Most of them aren't. That's why they get caught. And 2 out of every 3 crimes are done on impulse.
Exactly.
Another fact from the Phelps Encyclopedia of Thin Air. You really are full of it.
I don't think my partner's all that motivated, but he's a good guy, I guess. So the background detail and stuff is pretty impressive. Haven't had a chance to walk around LA in the 1940s too much, but I'm sure we'll get time to explore that as the game progresses. Just gotta cross this little bridge. It is kind of odd how many people are out walking around at 10:30 something at night. But maybe they worked a night shift.
Straight through the intersection.
See, I'm asking my partner for directions again. And I have no compunction about running red lights. The steering controls are not incredibly awesome, but maybe that's something I can tweak as time goes on and not take out parking meters, which is not a good thing for a patrol officer to do. Okay, so we've arrived at Schroeder's apartment, and we're gonna go see what he has to say about his missing pistol. Really? I'm a police officer. You shouldn't honk at me.
I save up from now.
Okay. So we're going to go in, find his apartment by looking at the mailbox. And go see what Schroeder has to say about his missing 357. I don't know if it was me. I wouldn't answer the door that late at night.
What do you guys want? I'm Officer Cole Phelps. This is Officer Dunn, Wilshire Division. You're the owner of a Smith & Wesson Model 27, nickel-plated with pearl grips?
I might be. What of it?
Then you'll be surprised to know that Scooter Payton was murdered tonight with your gun.
You're out of your mind. Scooter? He works for me. I have that gun here in my drawer.
Really?
What the fuck is going on here?
You're under arrest, Schroeder. Cuff him, Ralph.
No way. You're not taking me down for this.
Okay, so now we're getting to the big fail.
You ready, tough guy?
Because I'm ready to brawl, but it's telling me to block with a key that has no meaning to me, so I get punched in the face like 8 times. And it did hurt, for the record, because he punched me quite a few times, and as we'll see, apparently he is a professional boxer. So he's got a little... I just decided I would just straight up beat his ass and not worry about blocking, because I don't know what the hell that key is supposed to be, but it is not anything I identify with. So I'll just headbutt his ass and knee him in the face, which
Ralph,
pretty
you
much
all right?
solves the problem.
I'm fine. I hardly felt it. He's lucky he caught me off guard.
I think Ralph's a
Keep an eye on
bitch.
Ralph.
He's not a badass like me, but what are you gonna say? He's my partner, so I gotta have his back. This guy drinks a lot of beer. And he smokes.
Take a smarter man than you
terrible.
like that.
I'm thinking the mysteries are going to get a little more involved as we go along. But we shall see, shan't we? I actually really wanted to see what the Mystic Tales magazine was, but
Not sure this means much.
for whatever reason it wasn't letting me look at it. So I'm going to just examine that beer bottle a couple times and then move on. Apparently nothing interesting in the sink. Not really up to digging through trash. But a shiny red apple is always interesting.
Don't think this is anything.
Honeycrisp. They won't have those for years. Can't check the fridge. And nothing much going on with the stove. So we'll go back into the living room and put our hat on. And apparently you can't go through doors unless, like they said, they have gold handles. So pretty much limited to just the front room here. Like I said before, he's got a bunch of boxing stuff in here. So apparently he fancies himself a boxing badass. And I kicked his ass. He does have a notebook, which may be of interest. Not sure what all this means, but we got dates and numbers, so I'm assuming he's taking bets on boxing, perhaps?
List of names and a series of numbers. Floyd Rose's name is in this book.
Phelps, we can come out of this all bright and shiny with a commendation. Or stick our schlongs in a hornet's nest. Call it in, partner.
I'm going to go for the
Leave the book where you
commendation,
found it.
because sticking my schlong in a hornet's nest does not sound like a pleasant thing to do.
That's 1247.
So we're getting into some non-linear storytelling at this point in the game. And I think we're doing some flashbacks here. And Phelps is apparently going to enter the Marine Corps to fight against the Japanese in World War II. So we'll see what his flashback has to tell us about him and what his motivations are as a character.
You dumb fucking sons of bitches, get in this line now before I lose my temper.
Excuse me, Sergeant, but...
Excuse me? Fuck you. You say another word and I'll break your fucking head and have you in the brig.
Some of us are here for...
I know why you're here, asswipe. I'm having a bad day, Private. Some people don't seem to want to get on this bus.
Didn't ask for your help.
He didn't ask for your help. Can you believe this guy? Who are you two? Abbott and Costello?
We're here for OCS, Sergeant.
So it's the three fucking stooges and you're here for OCS. God help this fucking country and the USMC. The Japanese will do the world a favor and kill you quickly. All three of you are on report. What are your fucking names?
Phelps.
Kelso.
Merrill.
Any other gentlemen for OCS? OCS is at Elliott. You take the Camp Elliott bus over there. This bus is for MCRD. This bus is for men who want to fight.
It would appear the drill sergeant doesn't hold officers in very high esteem. Not a very unusual trait.
Well, you picked the right place, Cole. A city that needed an honest cop like a thirsty man needed water. You'd heard the stories, but you weren't interested. You were here to fight the good fight, solve cases, right wrongs. But the force is like politics. There's no sitting on the fence. You have to choose sides. A brown paper envelope or a Greyhound ticket to Palookaville. It could only ever end one way.
All units to 211 in progress and shots fired.
Well, I'm not planning on being paid off, officer, I can tell you that much. Now it's going to show us a little bit of shooting action, because there's bank robbery going on. So our illustrious heroes are going to have to go handle that issue. And if shots fires doesn't require a siren, I don't know what does. So we're going to speed through some LA suburbs here and find the bank. And hopefully foil the bank robbers.
Make it quick, you guys. The cops are here. We gotta move it.
Oh, just shoot at a cop car. What is wrong with you? So I got a shotgun. I'm thinking these guys aren't going anywhere, because...
Weapons on the ground, now!
Why don't people ever just give up? Guess I'm gonna have to move up.
Getting hammered here, Phelps! Try for the front door. Keep your goddamn head down. Use the cover, Phelps.
LAPD, put down your weapons. The bank is surrounded. I'm offering you a chance.
copper.
We don't know how many are in there.
Okay, how'd that work out for you? The guy behind the counter there is a little far for shotguns, but I didn't feel like moving in because I had pretty decent cover. And I was getting hits.
That's it?
The guy upstairs really didn't end well because that's a lot of blood in the wall.
Lieutenant Hopkins says anytime you reach for the shotguns, you're either going to end up dead or wearing a citation. So I guess...
It's okay, Ralph. You did well in there. I'm glad you had my back. Man couldn't ask for a better partner.
Gotta say, I'm liking our lead. He's a stand-up guy. At least, appears to be so far. Now we're going to go to another Marine Corps flashback.
This kind of opportunity comes along once in a lifetime, Hank. I have to grasp it.
You have to survive at first, Cole. Here are the veterans. The Japs love to shoot officers.
If I can make a name for myself in this war, my future...
Thinking of taking on a company of the Emperor's finest single-handed? You don't seem the Sergeant York type to me.
When I need your opinion, Kelso, I'll ask for it.
They talk about officers like you in boot camp, Cole. They call it the Custer syndrome. Guys who go around dreaming of fame and glory and getting all of their men killed in the process.
Our duty is to lead, Kelso.
And their duty is to die for your wonderful future?
Sensing a bit of friction with Kelso in the past, and
Cole Phelps and Jack Kelso.
That will probably play into the future too, but we shall see.
Two guys who should have been friends, but their personalities got in the way. Phelps, a good guy, wound way too tight.
Now I'm assuming this is another flashback prior to our murder gun mystery.
Shame you don't like to talk about it, Cole.
Ralph, friends who want to stay friends don't discuss religion or politics. And in my case, you can add the war to that.
I know that bum. Wendell Bowers. I put him away before. He jumped parole. Get after him, Phelps. I'll head him off in the car.
Doesn't really look like a bum, but
Wendell Bowers! Stop!
can't see much for his clothes. So now we're going to do a quick chase sequence here. And I'll get lost a bit because of this stupid garbage truck. I thought the guy went left, but I don't see him. See the map, and he went the other way.
Stop now or I will shoot. I won't tell you again, Wendell.
Ah, those are the days, man. You could just shoot people for running away. Awesome.
Jesus, son, watch your fire.
My partner is just kind of a spastic idiot, but what are you gonna do?
Give it up, Wendell.
Stay the hell away from me.
I'm trying to arrest you, so I can't really stay away. I'm sorry.
There's no way I'm going back inside.
It's kind of like a parkour course now.
I've done my time.
And since Phelps is in the Marine Corps, he's a parkour master. Up until the point he gets clotheslined and kind of not a good way.
Looks like we've got the place to ourselves.
Okay. And again, can't block, so I'll just punch you in the face as many times as I can until you fall down and cry like a woman. All right. Good job, Phelps.
What you doing, Wendell? Your parole officer's feeling lonely. He's got a hole in his life for an asshole like you. You can make it up to him in 10 years' time.
Like I
Watch
said,
your head.
Ralph's kind of a
This hump
douchebag,
will
but
be back in the Iron Hotel by tomorrow night.
he's growing on me.
Nice
What can
work,
I say?
Cole. You run track in high school?
No. Marine Corps. What can I say? We're
Passion of
badass.
the Marine Corps and being an officer in the Marine Corps is the ability to make tough decisions.
So we're going to get
The
through
right
this
decision is
final
not
section
always the
of
popular
flashback
one. The
here.
right decision will get the men you care about killed.
When
These ratings
Cole's
and your
apparently
ability to
going to
give them
piss off
frankly and truthfully directly affect
Kelso.
your chances of successfully becoming a Marine
And
officer. Candidate Phelps, you have the
again,
floor.
maybe that'll show up later. I don't know.
Esprit de Corps, Merrill 10, Franklin 8, Weiss 8, Donahoe 6, Kowalski 6, Hudson 5, Kelso 2. Leadership, Donahoe 8, Franklin
Not
7,
good scores,
Merrill,
so
6,
Kelso's
Kowalski,
getting pissed
6,
off.
Weiss 5,
We're going to have to
Hudson,
find out what that
5,
means
Kelso,
at a later
1.
date, because this
Candidate
episode
Kelso.
is going to be over. If you guys are interested
sorry,
in
Captain,
following
but I
this
joined the
story
Marine
with me,
Corps to fight
let
the
me
enemy,
know.
not get involved in the
Otherwise,
schoolboy
I'll just
chicken
play
shit.
the
Kelso,
game by
in my
myself.
office now.
Keep all the fun to me. Otherwise, maybe I'll keep pushing this one on, because, like I said, impressed so far, like the game. Thanks for watching. Buyer beware. Later. Thanks, guys. See you later.